You're listening to the New York Sports Show, the #1 all New York sports podcast. Hosted by Dominic Konareski.
The New York Yankees roller coaster of a season continues on. Hello and welcome to the New York Sports Show, your #1 all New York sports podcast. I'm your host, Dominic Konareski. The Yankees sit coming into game 162, the final game of their 2021 season, with just a half of game lead in the American League wildcard standings as of October 2nd. And you know what? This final game that you have James Italian pitching, a guy who's nowhere close to being healthy, really, and had a disgusting most recent start. He lies in what could possibly be a clinching game or could be a four-way tie. Fact is, Yankees sit 91-70. The Boston Red Sox 90-70. They're playing as I'm making this video. The Toronto Blue Jays, they won. They're 90-71. They're a half of a game out. The Seattle Mariners, they sit one game back, 89-71. They play later on tonight. If they win tonight, they will also be a half of a game out. If you want to be technical, there could be a four-way tie come at the end of tomorrow, with the New York Yankees losing, the Boston Red Sox winning, the Toronto Blue Jays winning, and the Seattle Mariners winning. The only way for that four-way tie to happen is if the Mariners also win tonight. They're going up against Los Angeles Angels, who are currently 76-84. They're playing throwaway games, absolute throwaway games. Now, the New York Yankees are playing at home, Yankee Stadium. They sit 45-35 in the Bronx. Overall, very inconsistent season, and I cannot stress that enough. 45-35 at home, away 46-35. The fact is, the New York Yankees have had so many winnable games this season that they lost very late, too. They've had so many heart-crushing losses, and I cannot stress that enough. The Yankees have lost so many times this season in the late innings, in the 8th and 9th inning, or even in extra innings, because the bullpen just blows the game. But now, you have Aaron Boone, who has totally rebuilt the bullpen. But the fact is, though, if the Yankees end up losing tomorrow and they end up not going far into the postseason, Aaron Boone will be fired. Without a doubt, he will be fired. And Brian Cashman, he should be fired too. Now, yes, Brian Cashman has gotten a lot of great trades for the New York Yankees. He's gotten a lot of acquisitions as a whole via free agency and off of waivers. But the New York Yankees have not won a World Series since 2009. It's been over a decade. And Brian Cashman, he's responsible for that. And for some fan bases, that's fine, not winning for a decade, you know? But the New York Yankees have always had the highest payroll, or at least top 5 or top 10 in the highest payroll. And continually, they continue to fail. They're very inconsistent this season, but one thing they are consistent on is failing, and they did a whole lot of it this season. The run differential is 41. That's some of the worst right now in the wildcard contention teams. The Seattle Mariners, somehow their run differential is negative 49, and they're still contending. But the fact is, though, their players, their pitching comes through when they need to. The New York Yankees do not have that. If the New York Yankees do not hit 20 home runs in a game, they're not going to win that game. And now you have James Italian, who takes the mound, who is injured. You can't tell me he's healthy. He's injured. And he's also on somewhat of a short rest. Now, Garrett Cole offered to pitch that final game. Obviously, he's not. Obviously, the Yankees are going to save him for the wildcard game. I don't want Garrett Cole out for the wildcard game. Mr. Spider Attack, Mr. Inconsistent himself. No, I want Nestor Cortez out for the wildcard game. Garrett Cole is unpredictable. Yes, he could throw 5 shutout innings, or he could go 3 innings and allow 5 runs. What kind of Garrett Cole will we get? Overall, he's playoff clutch. Yes, without a doubt, he is. But I don't trust him. I really don't. I do not trust Aaron Boone making the decisions during the wildcard game, especially if Garrett Cole is struggling. Heck, have Lucas Lipke start the wildcard game. I would trust Aroldis Chapman starting the wildcard game than Garrett Cole. Now, 100% that's a hot take. 100%, a lot of you folks watching this video will now agree with me. But would you really want Garrett Cole on the mound, who overall is nowhere close to being the Yankees' ace? He cannot show up when he has to. And that's the biggest thing this season. He cannot show up when he has to. He's not going to win the AL Cy Young. No, not whatsoever. And the biggest thing is, if this does come down to a tie, the New York Yankees would not even have home field advantage because they were so poorly against the Boston Red Sox and the Toronto Blue Jays. If this comes down to a 4-way tie, I'm going to be very surprised, and I'm going to make a whole nother video on that. But the fact is, if the Yankees want to win tomorrow, the bats have to be there. They have to be there. The pitching was there yesterday. Today, Jordan Montgomery did an absolute crap show of a job. You cannot have that coming into the final game. You cannot. The Yankees are a mockery in a way. It's like they're a fake playoff team. All eyes are on the New York Yankees, without a doubt. No one's going to really be paying attention to the Red Sox as much, or the Toronto Blue Jays, or the Seattle Mariners as much as they are with the New York Yankees. A team that was expected to win 100-plus games, 105-plus games. Most they could win the season is 92. They sat 91 and 70, like I said, mentioned before. The Tampa Bay Rays, yes, best team in the American League, best team in the American League East. The Yankees gave them their 100th win today. First time the Tampa Bay Rays have hit triple-digit wins in their first time in franchise history. That gives you a lot to think about. A lot. I'm Dominic Konoweski, and I'm signing out. Peace.